Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sneha and today we're going to discuss these MAC Hyperreal Foundation, which are essentially highlighters. So if you'd like to see my thoughts on these products, please continue watching. So the packaging for these new highlighters by MAC is a frosted glass bottle which is quite heavy with a twist off cap, which I'm not very happy about because I do wish this came either with a dropper or with a pump. It would have made my life so much easier, but this is what it is, and you get 30 ml of product or 1 fluid ounce in here. Each of these highlighters retail for £26 here in the UK or $31 US, which I think is a pretty decent price considering you get 30 ml or 1 fluid ounce of a highlighter. So the description for this highlighter I'm going to read off just from MAC's website. It says that this weightless liquid highlighter imparts a dreamy glow with a refined pearl finish for a complexion that immediately looks brighter, dimensional and healthy looking. I have to agree with this. I have used these highlighters in the past. I'm going to show you a demo in a bit, but these two look amazing and they're not like the strobe creams that MAC has in their range, just quite liquidy and gives more of a wet look on the skin, whereas these give the effect that a powder highlighter gives, but in a more wet look, if that makes sense. And they're definitely more intense than these strobe creams. So I'm going to insert a swatch right here on the screen so you can see the comparison. I'm going to swatch all 3 shades of the new Hyperreal Foundation highlighters, and I'm going to compare that with the original strobe liquid, which is the lotion version, and I'll also compare it with the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Opal. So you can see that the Hyperreal Foundation or the highlighters are quite intense. Now there's 2 ways you can apply it. First is underneath foundation, so similar to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, or even applying strobe liquid under the foundation to give an all-over glow, which I don't personally use because I have an oily skin type, but I would assume this looks beautiful for someone with a normal to drier skin types as a base before applying foundation. Or you can use it as a traditional highlighter, which is what I am going to show you in this demo. It says for an intense glow, apply over the foundation directly to the cheeks and the high points of the face with a sponge or a brush and lightly blend. And I definitely prefer applying it with a brush because it tends to absorb less of the products, whereas with a sponge, somehow in my mind, I just feel like it absorbs too much product. So in the demo, I will be using a brush and my fingers to apply the product. So let's get on with the demo. First up is the shade Violet FX. So this is a highlighter which gives like a pink, purple or lavender kind of a shift to the highlighter. So as you can see here in the demo, it looks prominent on my skin tone, but I think this particular shade would look stunning on really deep skin tones or light skin tones, especially for photo shoots. So this is a shade I would recommend if you're a makeup artist. It's great to have in your kit because it's quite unique. Today I'm going to show you the demo for 2 shades. 2 of my favorites actually. The first one is Gold FX when I want a more intense highlighter. I would say this is more like a white gold. I'm going to show you a swatch right here. And this shade is called Bronze FX, I believe, yeah. And this one on my skin tone would give a more subtle, more like my skin tone, but with the highlighter effect, if that makes sense. So I love this for a natural highlighter. So on one cheek, I'm going to show you the bronze shade and the other cheek will do the Gold FX. I think I'm going to use my Real Techniques Deluxe crease brush, which is quite a dense brush, so it'll be nice to blend out the edges. So on this cheek, I think I'm going to apply first the bronze shade, which will give me a more subtle highlight. When I say subtle, it just means that the color is close to my skin tone, so it's not going to be blinding. At the same time, it's a highlighter, so it is going to show up on my face. You can see it's quite intense. Definitely has gold to it at the same time. You can see that although it started off looking quite blinding, when you buff it into your skin, it can be made quite subtle as well. So that's one thin layer of the bronze shade. Just looks very subtle and natural. I love it. Just building up on the shade. And the second layer, you can see it gets more intense. Continuing to add more. The product is quite versatile for someone who likes a really subtle glow. You can buff it into your skin and just stop at layer 1. Whereas someone who wants a more beaming, stronger highlight, you can keep layering it up and just add a ton more to the highest point of your cheeks. Or if you have multiple shades, you can layer the lighter one, the gold effects, on top. But this is what bronze looks like on my skin tone. Okay, now applying the gold effects on this side of my cheek. This one will look quite blinding even in the first step, I feel. Just because it's lighter than my skin tone. So this is what it looks like going on. You can also tap it in with your fingers to blend it in. So this is what gold effects looks like. That is layer 1. Looks quite beautiful, but it's definitely more intense than bronze effects. Just adding some more to the highest point of the cheeks. So bronze effects, gold effects. So I definitely prefer this for a subtle look, and then this when I want an all-out highlighter. Another way I like to use them is by layering them. So I'll first go in with this bronze shade and then layer the gold effects right at the high points, although this itself is quite blinding because I've layered the bronze effects so much. Just going to apply some of the bronze onto the center of my nose, like so. And then with a small brush, I'm going to attempt to apply it to my cupid's bow without trying to disturb the lipstick that I have on. I'm going to apply the bronze one. So overall, I think I'm very happy with these highlighters. I don't have a liquid highlighter that's as intense. I would say the closest one would be the Marc Jacobs Coconut Highlighter. Coconut Dewdrops, I believe that's called. So that's the only one that's as intense as this. But I do love that this product is so versatile that you can apply it in a sheer layer to give a more dewy, natural glow. I mean, when I say natural, I mean a natural highlighter kind of a glow. At the same time, it can be built up to give a more intense highlighter look. Also, these can be fantastic bases for any powder highlighter that you want to add on top. So overall, I'm very impressed with these products and would highly recommend them, especially if you're of my skin tone or deeper. Bronze or the rose gold effects would look fantastic. I didn't get the rose gold shade because it was sold out when I was purchasing these, but that's something I might add to my collection. And the second shade I would recommend definitely for everyday wear is the gold effects, especially if you're of a lighter skin tone than mine. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me.